Hello, everyone, and welcome into this episode of Align with Your Purpose. I'm your host, Earl Hall. Thank you so much for being here. Got a great show for you on today, and I want to make sure that you do follow me on my website, www.alignwithyourpurpose.co. Today, we're going to be talking about what you think about yourself matters. And so many times, I talk to so many people during the course of a week, and people have such negative thoughts. And the key to the whole thing is most people don't see things as they actually are. People see things as they themselves are. And that's a big deal. Because what you think about yourself controls everything else. The thoughts that you think, the dreams that you have, the goals that you have, and whether or not you can actually attain them all come back down to how it is that you actually think about yourself. We think, oh my gosh, I'm trying to remember the figure here, somewhere around 70 to 75,000 thoughts a day. And the odd thing about that is most of those thoughts that you think are the same thoughts that you thought yesterday. They're the same thoughts that you thought the day before. Here's the key thing, and I want you to focus in on this because this is very, very important. About 90% of the thoughts that you think are things you've already thought. In that last almost 10%, is where you have an opportunity to change the outcomes of your life. People that literally start focusing in on the things that they want and constantly think about them, those are the things that they start to really, really attract. And you've got to think, if you've been thinking the same thoughts, 90% of your thoughts you've been thinking the past couple of days, weeks, months, years, they're just in you, right? And so you're getting a certain type of result. One of the biggest ways that thoughts change that I can really help you identify how you can really focus in on this is because of something called the reticular activator. Everyone has it. It's in our brains. And let me tell you how it is that this reticular activator works, because its function is to make you aware of the things that you want. Now, you may think you want certain things, but what you actually want are those thoughts that you keep thinking, those beliefs that you have. And a belief, as you've heard me say before, is simply a thought you keep thinking over and over and over again. In that 90% of our thoughts, you're getting what you want, whether you believe it or not. You're getting what you're telling yourself you want. If it's anxiety, if it's frustration, you're telling yourself you want this because you keep thinking those same thoughts over and over and over again. So now let me help you with explaining to you how our reticular activator works in the simplest way that I can. Have you ever purchased a new car? Most of us have, right? Maybe not a brand new car, but you bought a car. And when you buy that car and you start driving it around, all of a sudden you start seeing other cars just like yours. And you're like, where did all these cars come from like this? I didn't see them before. You weren't thinking about them before. Your reticular activator was not bringing them into your awareness. And here's the thing about that reticular activator. It's there to help you. It's there to support you. And it's there to point you in the direction of the things that you want. Now, understand this. The things that you want are the things that you continue to think about. So just imagine this. You just bought a new, Range Rover. That's what I want, right? All right, so you just bought a new Range Rover. Now you're seeing Range Rovers all over the place, but I see them all over the place because it's something that I want. It's something that I've been thinking about over and over again. Man, I would really like a brand new Range Rover, right? So I see them all the time. Well, this same reticular activator that can show you and make you aware of cars on the road can make you aware of opportunities to build your business, people that you may need to include in your business, videos and courses that you may need to watch. Your reticular activator will allow you to now notice opportunities where you never saw opportunities before. Why? Because you're thinking about it. You're focusing in on it. You're trying to pay attention to it. You are purposefully thinking about something that you want, as opposed to just allowing life to send it your way. This is why things like meditation, visualization, dream boards, things of that nature are so vitally important, is because they make you constantly aware. When you have a vision board up in your office or your bedroom or, beside the, bathroom mirror or whatever, but you know where you can really start putting some things into play is right on your cell phone. On your smartphone, you can control what's on your home screen, right? Why not put out some things or put a few things on there that you actually want to focus in on? Do you have a certain income goal you want to meet? Put it on your phone, right there on the home screen. Do you have a certain client you want to do business with? Put it right there on your phone. You know why? Because we look at our phones. I wish I had that figure because it's astronomical. 400, I believe. It's about 400 times a day on the average that people look at their smartphones. Some more, some less, but the average number is right around 400 times. Imagine if every time you picked up your smartphone, you had your goals right there to look at so that your mind would start focusing in on them, and that reticular activator that's on the inside of you can really start making some things happen over time because now you're actively thinking about it. In the morning when you wake up, first thing most people do is they pick up their smartphone, focus in on your visions and your goals that you have. Before you go to bed at night, the last thing that most people do, look at their smartphones. Focus in, actually feel what it's going to feel like. In your mind, literally, feel the feeling of what it's going to feel like when you accomplish this goal, this dream. Imagine that. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take a short break, but we're going to come back and we're going to continue this conversation because I think it is vitally important that you become keenly aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, because what you think about yourself matters. Get the book Align with Your Purpose by Earl Hall. Find and walk in your purpose. Get the answers to your questions about life and how to make it exactly what you want are in this book. This is your chance to stop living in a life you hate. Discover how to manifest the life you actually want. Get Align with Your Purpose now on Amazon, paperback, Kindle, or audiobook. You're an entrepreneur or small business owner, right? Are you utilizing Facebook ads or Instagram ads? If not, it's probably because you just don't know how to produce the content. At earlhallstudio.com, we can create an audio commercial as well as video commercials for you to really get attention to your business and make more money. Audio commercials for radio and audio platforms start at just $99. Or you can go all in with a great commercial for your business to be aired online or even on TV, starting at just $197. Get more information at earlhallstudio.com. All right, folks, welcome back in the show. Thanks for keeping it locked right here on Align with Your Purpose. I'm your host, Earl Hall, coming to you Monday through Friday, 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central, 7:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Today, we're talking about what you think about yourself matters. We talked in the first segment about the reticular activator and how that works, and we talked about how to start thinking better about your goals and making them a priority, because so much of the thoughts, about 90% of the thoughts that you have, are the thoughts you've already thought before. You've got 10% to work with. And when you start working with that 10% and you start thinking in more and more every day about the things that you want to accomplish and the goals that you want to attain, all of a sudden you start nudging out that 90%, because now these are the thoughts that you're thinking every day. And when we talk about what you think about yourself matters, it really does. Because what this all comes down to, until you think of yourself appropriately, nothing matters. And unfortunately, so many of the thoughts that we've thought before have been negative thoughts about ourselves. We haven't really taken the time to think really positively about who it is that we are. I mean, actively thinking positively. This is one of the reasons, as I said in the first segment, that meditation is so important, that having goals is so important. And I don't care whether you pray or whether you meditate, these things ought to be used in a manner so that you can think more highly of yourself. I'm going to say that again. So that you can think more highly of yourself, even more correctly of or about the person that you are. Refocusing and reprogramming and retraining our brains that we've programmed, and mostly unintentionally, over the last 2 decades, 3 decades, 4 decades, 5 decades of our lives, impacts us right now. The good news is that there is a way to change it. The technology that's out there and the science that's out there says it takes around 21 days to either start a new habit or quit an old habit. It takes about 21 days to do that. One of the things that we have at alignwithyourpurpose.co is a program that's called Quantum Neural Manifestation Alignment. With this program, it's a 21-day program that allows you to start reprogramming the thoughts about yourself that you actually want to have. This 21-day program is a meditation and affirmation program that you can listen to for just 15 minutes a day. Literally 15 minutes a day is all it takes to start reprogramming the negativity out and programming the positivity in. We're talking about your self-limiting beliefs. We're talking about money. We're talking about relationships. We're talking about anxiety, relieving all those things. We're talking about you taking massive action to start doing the things that are actually going to matter in your life so that you can start thinking better about yourself. That's the core of you doing better and attaining your goals and reaching the things that you want to reach for. It starts with you having real positive thoughts and beliefs about yourself. I want you to check out this 21-day program. Again, it's a science that I've developed with a partner of mine, Dr. Crystal Rains, and it's called Quantum Neural Manifestation Alignment. You can go to the website alignwithyourpurpose.co, and you can find that in the products that we have. You can also go directly to it by going to officialqnma.com. I want you to check that out. Look, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this show. I want to thank the people that are leaving comments, that are sharing this, that are following the podcast and liking it and commenting there. It means so much. But what's going to mean even more to me is if you can take some massive action right now and start believing about yourself, the positive things, the good things that you ought to be believing. Because whatever you want to do, you can do. As the quote goes, whatever the mind of man can whatever the mind of man can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Thanks so much. Check out the website, officialqnma.com. It's officialqnma.com. Go ahead, get the 21-day program, and I'm also going to have links in the description. Thanks so much for being here with me today. And don't ever forget, what you think about yourself matters. I'll see you tomorrow.